All right, here's a few news stories that I noticed. So Musk has been giving, Elon Musk has been giving away $1 million a day to a random person who signs his petition so they have information to promote Trump's election. And it turns out that in court, he was sued for this as a violation of election finance law. And his lawyer said, no, because we don't actually give it to a random person. Instead, we have pre-selected people that are like members of our team that we give it to, and it's not even clear that they even give it to them at all. In your courses 132 at link, and I'm wondering what's up with the ML tab. OpenAI is being unresponsive. Well, I do not understand the question. Anyway, so that's his defense, is that he's committing fraud, telling people they're going to be entered in the lottery, but in fact there is no chance of them winning. And the end result is he won. The judge allowed this to go on. So I hope we'll see more of this. I can imagine he was not guilty of what he's originally accused of, since he was lying about what he was doing, but it seems to me like now he could be punished for straight up fraud. But we'll see. We seem to be, our court system seems to be extremely ineffective at punishing rich people. So we'll see what happens. By the way, while we're on the topic, another one up here. Yeah, it turns out that the canvassers were recruited for going door to door, raising money for Trump, and they were transported in vans without any seats in them, and lied to, and then fired. Unreasonable expectations were complained, and then when Wired reported on their plight, they were just fired and abandoned without even a ride home. So seems like he treats them just like he treats most of his employees. Someone sent me, okay, Crazy Blade, well, I'll take a look at it at 7:30 after the lecture. I can try answering questions about projects. All right, so Singapore is going to track all vehicles with GPS. I didn't know that Singapore rigidly limits the number of cars they have, and they charge you have to get like a operating permit, which costs $75,000 every 10 years. So they really make it very difficult to get and maintain a car in Singapore in order to restrict the traffic, and now they're going to log the location of cars all the time with GPS to adjust their roads and traffic, which is, in America, you can do that without even bothering to make everybody do it. As you know, the traffic apps like Google Maps and Apple Maps will do this just because the number of people that are running Google Maps is enough that they can get a pretty good idea what the traffic is on every road without having to force everybody to participate. There's an Antarctic glacier melting, and it is expected to melt within the next 50 to 100 years and raise ocean height by, I think, 12 feet. Which would be disastrous. Let me see. Raise sea levels by 11 feet. And that would, of course, flood almost all coastal land. And they've been very worried about it. And now there apparently are a lot of moves to actually try to build some kind of artificial reef to restrain the flow of water to help prevent this glacier from melting. A form of geoengineering. Engineering the planet to survive the warm-up that's happening with less disasters. So we'll see what comes of it. All right, and yeah, so I didn't know this, there's a character called Peanut the Squirrel. Somebody found a squirrel and made it a pet. And this is apparently illegal in New York, where he did it. They say it is a risk of bubonic plague, which I imagine it is. I remember I went to the redwood forests around here at times when they warned you that the squirrels do carry bubonic plague. And so the state impounded his squirrel and another pet, I think a raccoon, and then euthanized both of them. So they're outraged by this, and this is what Musk has been railing about on Twitter, and Trump has been railing about how terrible it is that they killed this guy's pet squirrel. And they also made a cryptocurrency called Peanut, which is up to $120 million with everyone buying it in honor of Peanut the Squirrel. So it sounds like there may perhaps be some justice in the complaint, but this reminds me, when I was driving into work today, I saw a bridge across the freeway totally covered with signs saying, "Keep boys out of girls' sports." And that's for transgender boys, and that's another cause, which might have some justice, but neither of these do I care about at all. These are trivial matters that affect no significant number of people. How many people have a pet squirrel? And how many real transgender boys are there in girls' sports? Saying both of these are problems that really don't exist. I mean, there's not even one per state, I think, of the boys and girls sports. So this is a trick Republicans have used many times to get people very upset about an emotional issue that in fact has no effect on their lives, so they can get people to vote for them, even though it makes no sense at all for this to affect your vote, pro or con. It is a trivial matter affecting almost nobody. Yeah, there we are. Trump's also mad about the fact that Peanut the squirrel got killed. All right. So EVs, American car makers only want to make large, expensive EVs, and we block them coming in from China, where the better EVs are made, apparently. The head of Ford drives a Chinese EV, which he somehow managed to get in and says it's better than the stuff he makes. So Hyundai is making a smaller EV. So that might be nice. It might actually improve the market conditions a bit. And Microsoft is now giving a lottery, $1 million giveaways for people who use Bing and other Microsoft products. They've been trying to get Bing to be a competitor with Google Search, which, by the way, I'm an advocate of now. Google Search has stopped indexing my content, and they have filled their stuff with ads and stuff to where I very often can't find what I need on Google, and I have to use Bing instead. I'm about ready to make Bing my default search engine and just abandon Google, and I think I'm not alone. So Microsoft might win, not particularly because of giving me $1 million, but just because their product is in fact better than Google's product these days. Anyway, let me stop this recording.